The Maxvorstadt district is located in the north of Munich's historic medieval Old Town. It was the first major urban expansion of the city of Munich. It was planned by King Maximilian I, after whom it was named. However, it was only built by his son King Ludwig I around 1825. Today, the small 4.3 square kilometer district is home to 12 museums and all three major Munich universities, as well as various smaller universities. The district alone has more to offer than many large cities. Join me on a tour through Maxvorstadt. We start in the far east of Maxvorstadt at the English Garden. The English Garden will be a subject of another video in spring, when everything looks green and beautiful. If you look west from Veterinärstrasse, you will see the street's namesake on the right-hand side, the veterinary faculty of Ludwig-Maximilians-Universität. Right next to it is a wildflower meadow, which is of course not very flowery in winter. If you follow Veterinärstrasse, you will come to the main building of Ludwig-Maximilians-Universität, or LMU for short. It is Bavaria's oldest university and was founded in 1472 by Duke Ludwig IX, at that time still in Ingolstadt, north of Munich. During the turmoil of the Napoleonic Wars between 1800 and 1826, it was briefly moved to Landshut by King Maximilian I until King Ludwig I brought it to Munich. This is why it's called Ludwig-Maximilians-Universität, although the Ludwig refers to Duke Ludwig IX and not King Ludwig I. If the student representatives had their way, the university should be renamed the Geschwister Scholl-Universität. At least that was a demand for a long time, but I don't know whether the current student representatives are still calling for it. The Scholl siblings were members of the White Rose, Weiße Rose resistance group, a group of young people who resisted the Nazi regime with leaflets. In February 1943, they distributed leaflets at the LMU. Sophie Scholl threw the leaflets from the second floor into the atrium. She and her brother Hans were then observed and detained by their janitor. The group around Alexander Schmorell, Willy Graf, Professor Huber, Hans and Sophie Scholl were thus exposed. The members were executed by the Nazis in April 1943. Today the leaflets are embedded in the ground in front of the university, and a memorial and museum in the university commemorate the heroes of the White Rose. Just north of the LMU is the Siegestor, built by Ludwig I. I have already made a video about its history and symbolism. To the west, however, is the Munich Academy of Art. Wassily Kandinsky, Paul Klee and Franz Marc, among others, studied here. The building was constructed in 1873 in the Neo-Renaissance style, and since 2005 the Academy has been extended in a new building next to it. Art has always played a major role in Maxvorstadt. In addition to the numerous museums, street art and galleries can be found everywhere. At the end of Akademiestrasse you will find the ARRI cinema. For real film geeks, however, the name ARRI is mainly known for camera and film technology. Their technology has been used in many Hollywood productions and they have won 19 Oscars to date. In addition to the cinema, their main factory used to be here. If you walk south along Türkenstrasse to the left, you will come to Georg Elser Platz. The resistance fighter Georg Elser lived in Türkenstrasse. He almost took out the entire Nazi leadership, including Hitler, in a bomb attack on November 8, 1939. Due to unfortunate circumstances, Hitler left the scene of the assassination too early. Elser's bomb exploded at 9:20. Today a work of art commemorates this, which lights up for 1 minute every evening at 9:20. More information on the assassination can be found in my video on the Bierholputsch. Diagonally opposite is the Alter Simpl, a pub with a long tradition. Especially in the first half of the 20th century, the Simpl was frequently visited by Munich's bohemian crowd. Literary history was also written here. Klabund and Hugo Ball recited their poem Dada here, the term that was the inspiration for the Dadaism art movement. Duke Ellington played the grand piano here in 1961, and since then it once again become a popular meeting place for students and artists of all kinds. A little further south you come to Schelling Salon, the east-west axis in Maxvorstadt. Here you will find many student pubs everywhere. A little further east you will come across an absolute Munich institution, the Schelling Salon. It has been run by the Mayer family since 1872. Writers such as Brecht and Rilke were among the regular customers. Lenin often visited the Schelling Salon during his time in Munich. Hitler came here until he was banned because he never paid for his soup. The terrorist Andreas Baader was also a regular visitor. Today, the interior seems to have fallen out of time. Between the pool and foosball tables, there are places to have a beer or something good to eat at reasonable prices. The crowd is a colorful mix from young students to old gentlemen who play cards. Anyone looking for a special experience should spend an evening here. 2 doors down is the Osteria Italiana, formerly Osteria Bavaria. Munich's first Italian restaurant was established here in 1887. When Hitler came into money, it was also his favorite restaurant, where he also met his British admirer, Unity Mitford. Today, the interior is a listed building due to its historical murals, depicting the Gulf of Naples and scenes from Roman mythology. You can still eat Italian food there, albeit at higher prices. If you look back towards the east on Schellingstrasse towards the university, you can see the church towers of St.Ludwig. The Church of St. Ludwig was built at the beginning of the 19th century and designed by Friedrich von Gärtner. Thanks to Google Earth, you can admire the colorful mosaic roof of the 3-arched Byzantine basilica. Inside you can admire the altar fresco The Last Judgment by Peter Cornelius. It is the second largest altar fresco in the world, only surpassed by Michelangelo's fresco in the Sistine Chapel in Rome. By the way, opposite St. Ludwig you can see bullet holes from the Second World War in the walls of the university. The artwork Wunden der Erinnerung, Wounds of Remembrance, refers to this fact. The Bavarian State Library is located to the south of St. Ludwig. With 38.5 million items, it is the largest research library in Germany. Thucydides, Homer, Aristotle and Hippocrates guard its entrance. Ludwigs-Strasse itself is the north-south axis of Maxvorstadt. It stretches from the Feldherrnhalle on Odeonsplatz to the Siegestor. King Ludwig I even threatened to move the capital to Bavaria to Ingolstadt or Landshut if his vision was not built. To the left and right of Ludwigs-Strasse are representative buildings, palaces or ministries of the kingdom, which are still ministerial buildings of the Bavarian state today. Sissi, who later became Empress of Austria, was even born in one of these buildings. The extent to which Maxvorstadt was planned can also be seen in its classicistic architecture, with a typical chessboard pattern. The east-west axis is formed by Brienner Strasse, which leads from Odeonsplatz via Karolinenplatz to Königsplatz. To the north of this are the Pinakothek museums, which define the so-called Kunstareal, art area. This 500 meter by 500 meter area is home to 18 museums and over 20 galleries. The Brandhorst Museum is located on the northeastern corner of the Kunstareal. It houses works of art by Beuys, Warhol and Hirst, among others. The exterior facade consists of 36,000 ceramic rods in 23 different colors. To the south of it is the Pinakothek der Moderne. It is both a design museum and a museum of modern and contemporary art. Here you can find works from Dali and Picasso to Warhol and Neo Rauch. If you walk in a northeasterly direction, you come to the Neue Pinakothek. Works from the 18th century to the early 20th century are exhibited here. However, it is currently being renovated until at least 2029. This building is a post-war construction. The original building was destroyed in the war. It looked quite similar to the Alte Pinakothek south of here. The Alte Pinakothek contains paintings from the Renaissance to the 18th century. I have already made a video about it in which you can find more information. And while we are at it, to make sure you don't miss any more information about Munich and the surrounding area, subscribe to my channel. I would be very happy and it helps me a lot. Even further south is the University of Television and Film. The State Museum of Egyptian Art is located in the same building. The entrance area is modeled on an Egyptian pylon. Here you can admire ancient Egyptian art and the only Egyptian obelisk on German soil. From the museum, turn right and you will see the Technical University of Munich, or TUM. It is the largest technical university in Germany. It was founded in 1868 by King Ludwig II. For once he did something sensible. If you walk south along Akademie, you will first pass the University of Music and Theatre. It is located in the former Führerbau, an ostentatious building of the Nazi dictatorship where the shameful Munich Agreement was signed. A little further on you come to Richard-Wagner-Strasse again. If you look to the east you can see Königsplatz. To the left is the highly recommended NS Documentation Center. If you turn your gaze to the west you will see Königsplatz with the Glyptothek and the State Collection of Antiquities. I have already made an extensive video about the history of Königsplatz as well as a video about the obelisk on Karolinenplatz, so I'll keep it short here. The Lenbachhaus is located behind the Propylaea on Königsplatz. The painter Prince Franz von Lenbach had a palace built here in the late 19th century in the Italian Renaissance style. The building was then sold to the city of Munich by his widow in 1924. Since then, it has housed the city's collection of paintings. Here you can see paintings from the artist group Der Blaue Reiter around Franz Marc and Wassily Kandinsky to contemporary art. It is actually my favorite art museum in Munich. You shouldn't overlook special exhibitions at the Lenbachhaus, which often take place in the Kunstbau on the mezzanine floor of the Königsplatz subway station. Behind the Lenbachhaus, Richard-Wagner-Strasse leads to the Bavarian State Collection of Palaeontology and Geology. This unassuming museum is free of charge, but you can see some impressive fossils inside. Dinosaurs are always cool, and don't just amaze children. Richard-Wagner-Strasse itself is impressive, with buildings from the Historicism period. If you return to Richard-Wagner-Strasse and walk a little further west, you come to the end of the street and the border between Maxvorstadt and Neuhausen. This is where the Löwenbräukeller is located, one of the big beer halls here in Munich. At the end of the 19th century, it set new standards in Munich gastronomy by introducing such revolutionary things as napkins and tablecloth. Until 2007, the Löwenbräu brewery was also located behind it. However, it moved diagonally opposed to the Spaten Franziskaner brewery site. To make it complete with the universities, we simply take the streetcar 2 stops up Dachauerstrasse and arrive at Munich University of Applied Sciences. There are over 18,000 students studying engineering, economics, social sciences and design. I hope I was able to bring you a little closer to the unique district of Maxvorstadt. There's much more to discover here, but perhaps this will be material for a second video about Maxvorstadt. So don't miss out on this district when you're in Munich, and if you need a guided tour, here's my email address. Until the next video, Philip.